Hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of Quick Chop. Today I'm doing mashed potatoes, but we're doing a French version because there's many different versions, but we're doing a French version which would be a purée de pommes de terre. Quick Chop is provided by Mission Grocery Outlet in San Francisco. If you look throughout history, there's hundreds of varieties of potatoes. The ones that the French typically use, they are not available here in the United States, but we have that make the best mashed potatoes are Yukon Golds. They really produce the best consistency, don't get too starchy. Stay away from red potatoes or russets. They just don't produce that puree the way we would really like to have it. I've got a couple of nice ones here and we've already pre-cooked them, so let's get to cleaning them up and I'll show you what we do. What I like to use, it's a flour sieve, a flour screen, and this is like a baker's screen. They would put flour in here for baking and to sift it out. It's a pretty fine mesh, and I flip it over the other way, and I've got my parchment paper down on my cutting board here on my surface. So I'm gonna put that down there. We're gonna bring our potatoes over. So now we've got those potatoes all pushed through. All that's left is a little bit of waste that didn't quite make it, which is fine, so we didn't want that in our puree. I cooked the potatoes with the skins on, and again, I've talked about that. If you peel your potatoes first, one, it's not as efficient, and the potatoes are gonna absorb water. We're looking to take water out sometimes to intensify the flavors. And again, the skins are going to impart a little bit of flavor also, and protect you from over salting when you salted the water. Again, one of the beauties of having that parchment paper down on your cook surface is, there's my potatoes, nice and neat. And now I'm just gonna pop that into my pan over here, really simply. Look at that, nothing's wasted except the paper. Now we're gonna bring up the heat just a little bit. I'm gonna put a little liquid in there. And the liquids I'm gonna use for this recipe, I've got cream, heavy cream, and half, because sometimes I want a little more moisture in there as well. Or salt, of course, and sweet butter. I like sweet butter because I want to control the salt myself, and it's really hard to gauge salt quantities when you're putting salted butter in there. On standby, I do have just a little bit of water, low heat. I'm just gonna ladle in some of the half and half. Okay, so now the work begins. And we're just gonna start adding fat in the form of our butter here. And I cube the butter up instead of putting it in big chunks because I want it to melt fairly quickly. More salt. We'll put in some of the cream now. Incorporate that in. How much fat do you put in? Well, it's really as much as you want. It can handle it. You can just keep adding. Now you can use clarified butter as well, which is really nice. Kind of like that milk solid in there. And we're adding liquid to get a consistency that I'm after, which is really kind of a personal preference. So you can see that consistency's coming up. Keep mixing. Watch the heat, don't leave it on there. You just want it warm. If you leave it on there, you can kind of break your cream. Just looking really luxurious right now. It's a labor of love, you know. It's gotta be just something that you really, once you've had it like this, I won't say there's never any going back, but it's just a matter of something special. It's just a wonderful way to prepare a potato. I'm gonna taste it just now for the salt. the heat. Yeah, nice. They're so creamy, you can serve these using a ladle. I'm just gonna kind of ladle that in there. Just the smell of the cream and the butter and the potatoes coming off of that is just beautiful. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little garnish on there for presentation. There you have it. Now that is purée de pommes de terre. This is a French style of doing that puree, that mashed potato. Again, as I said, there's so many different other ways you could probably do this, and maybe we'll do one of those next time. It's just got this silky smooth consistency and very fluffy, very, very, very rich and wonderful with all the butter and the cream that we've put in there. Marvelous. So let's give it a try. Marvelous. This is a great accompaniment, obviously, to a nice cut of beef. It's a little more work, it's a little more effort, so maybe you want to go with, if you're serving filet mignon or some delicate cut of beef or meat that you really like. Yeah, it's just silky smooth. It's really, really beautiful. That's my version. If you've got questions or comments or you want to send us your recipes, it's a Quick Chop Show at newsupnow.org. You can also like us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. And that's it. So thanks for watching the Quick Chop Show. I'm Eric Liittschwager, your host. Have a great day. Quick Chop is provided by Mission Grocery Outlet in San Francisco.